Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. This is the Who's News on 11th February newspaper, front page dawn. NAPRA to keep an eye on IPP's minister says talks with banks on the way to doubt their debt repayment tenure with IPPs. Full discourse to be given to private sector to curtail losses by Khalid Kiani. Islamabad, the government on Wednesday said the National Accountability Bureau, NAP, National Electric Power Regulatory Authority, NEPRA, or Securities and Exchange Commission of Pakistan, CSECP, would be free to proceed against independent power producers, IPPs, for any misdeed or criminality, even after the agreed to give about rupees 770 billion discount over the remaining 20-year life of their contracts. At the same time, the government is holding talks with banks to prolong their debt repayment and tenure from existing 10 years to 20 years, along with cut in interest rates. The government has not cut its hands at all. We have protected our every right in the revised amendment agreement with IPPs. There is no protection to any criminal act, said Energy Minister Ayub Khan while talking to journalists, along with Minister for Information Senator Shibli Faraz and the Special Assistant to the Prime Minister on Power, Tabish Gohar. In fact, the government has succeeded in convincing the IPPs to vacate stay orders from courts against heat rate tests ordered by the power regulator. The energy minister said, adding that they would share efficiency gains with the government on account of heat rates. The accountability and regulatory institutions will be free to take action if they find any irregularity or wrongdoing, and a dispute could be settled in courts, he said. Mr. Omar said the earlier reported rupees 836 billion savings in revised agreements with IPPs were based on rupees 168 per dollar exchange rate that dropped to rupees 770 billion after rupee appreciated to rupees 160 per dollar. Of the savings, he said 50% discount was on account of captivity payments and 50% on energy costs. About talks with banks, Mr. Gohar said banks were being asked to extend their debt repayment tenure to 20 years and interest rate from keyboard plus 4.5% and the 3% also. He said the National Bank of Pakistan and Habib Bank had been engaged by the government on the subject. Also, he said that the Sindh government was being asked to shift solar indexation on third-based power plants, as all local IPPs had been delinked from a dollar-based equity indexation and linked to rupee-based equity. Mr. Omar said, besides the rupees 770 billion savings secured from IPPs, the government also achieved rupees 2.05 trillion saving on about 8,000 megawatts of public sector power plants, including the nuclear plants, Babda hydropower, and thermal generation companies through reduction in the return on equity. For discourse, he said the cost of transmission and distribution losses was about rupees 150 billion per annum, as 85% of the losses were on account of Peshawar, Hyderabad, Quetta, and Multan discourse, and they will be given to the private sector under management contracts instead of outright privatization or sale of shares. Mr. Gore said the payment plan with IPPs had been shared with the IMF and rupees 1.95 per unit increase was being made in power rates to revive the IMF program. He hoped the remaining rupees 1.39 of the rupees 3.34 per unit increase determined by the regulator would not be passed on onto consumer amid the pandemic. And in the end, the formal request, if you have not yet, to please subscribe our channel and press the like and bell button to get the fresh from us. Thank you for watching. Have a nice time and goodbye.